People always ask why I draw like Guweiz. And honestly, most people are asking the wrong question. Because drawing like Guweiz is not about downloading the same brushes, using the same colors, or copying the same anime face style. That's the surface level stuff. The real reason his art looks so insane is because every single artwork feels like a scene from a movie that doesn't even exist. His illustrations don't just look good, they make you feel something. And that's exactly what makes his art so addictive to look at. So in this video, I'm going to break down what actually makes Guweiz's art style work. Because after studying his artworks, watching speed paints, analyzing compositions, and trying to understand his process, I realized something important. His art style isn't random, there's a very clear system behind it. And once you understand that system, your art will instantly start looking more cinematic and professional. The first thing you need to understand is gesture and flow. This is probably the biggest reason why Guweiz's characters feel alive. Most beginner artists draw characters like action figures. Everything feels stiff, symmetrical, and unnatural. But Guweiz approaches the body differently. He thinks about movement first. Even in simple standing poses, there's always a flow running through the body. Curved lines, tilted shoulders, dynamic posture, everything feels intentional. His sketches are often messy, but they still look energetic because the motion comes first and the details come later. And honestly, this is where most artists fail. They spend hours rendering eyelashes and hair strands while the actual pose feels dead. No amount of rendering can save a boring pose. So if you really want to improve, start practicing gesture drawing. Do fast sketches. Study body language. Learn how to make characters feel like they're actually breathing instead of just standing there. Now the second thing that makes Guweiz stand out is cinematic composition. His artworks don't feel like a character with a background. They feel like actual scenes from an anime film. And that's because he understands framing like a movie director. He uses foreground elements, depth, camera angles, motion blur, lighting effects, all to guide your eyes through the artwork. For example, sometimes he places objects close to the camera to create depth. Sometimes the character is partially hidden. Sometimes the angle is tilted slightly to create tension. These tiny decisions completely change how the artwork feels. Beginners usually focus only on drawing the character correctly. Professionals focus on the entire scene. That's why Guweiz's artworks feel immersive instead of flat. And then comes the biggest thing, lighting. This is where the magic happens. Guweiz is insanely good at using light to create emotion. Neon lights, rim lights, soft glow effects, rain reflections, all of these instantly make his art recognizable. But here's the interesting part, his colors are actually simpler than they look. Most of the artwork is usually made of muted tones, and then he adds one strong light source to create contrast. That contrast is what makes the image pop so hard. Another thing people misunderstand is rendering. A lot of artists think Guweiz spends hours detailing every single part equally. But that's not true at all. He controls focus extremely well. The face and eyes are usually the sharpest and most detailed areas, while other parts stay soft and simplified. This creates visual hierarchy. Your eyes naturally go where he wants them to go. That's a huge lesson for artists. You do not need to detail everything. In fact, over-detailing can actually make your art worse. Learn where to focus attention and where to simplify. That's what makes art feel professional instead of noisy. But the final thing, and probably the most important thing, is storytelling. This is the real reason why people remember Guweiz's artworks. Every illustration feels like a frozen moment from a bigger story. Sometimes it feels lonely. Sometimes nostalgic. Sometimes intense. But there's always emotion behind it. The character expressions, weather, colors, lighting, composition, everything works together to create one specific feeling. And that's the difference between good artists and unforgettable artists. Most beginners try to make cool art. Great artists make people feel something. So if you truly want to draw like Guweiz, stop obsessing over brushes and effects. Instead, study movement. Study cinematography. Study lighting. Study storytelling. Because Guweiz isn't just drawing anime characters. He's directing emotions like a filmmaker.